Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about the next year of Call of Duty. So according to Ghost of Hope, the next year of Call of Duty is going to be very interesting. We learned that there's some big things happening with Black Ops 7, and I want to talk about a few things, a couple things that I'm optimistic about, and a few things that I'm a little fearful about. But I think the best way to do this is to break it down into kind of three categories. So first of all, I want to talk about Black Ops 7. Then I want to talk about DMZ and kind of Modern Warfare 4, and then Warzone. But before we get to all that, I just wanted to let everyone know that I stream pretty much every day on Twitch. I'm at twitch.tv/zombiesoundwave. So if you're interested in catching any of my live streams, please go over there and follow so that you get a notification anytime that I go live. And also, I've got some new videos up on this YouTube channel. So if you want to check out any of those, that would be awesome too. All right, so let's go back to the main topic. Okay, so let's start with Black Ops 7, due to it being the majority of the next year. I'm pretty excited to hear what Ghost had to say about it. He said that the Black Ops 7 launch seasons are going to be filled with a ton of content. The game is really starting to feel like a sequel to Modern Warfare 3 to me. And while I know that some people might not like hearing that, because I know there's kind of a negative light around Modern Warfare 3, if you played Modern Warfare 3 at launch, you may have walked away from the game thinking the campaign was pretty bad and the multiplayer was just kind of a sped up Modern Warfare 2 from the year before. And it was just filled with classic 2009 MW2 maps. But the game grew to be much more than that over the year. And they altered the gameplay, made it work better, and they added original maps. Some examples are Meat and 6 Star that really stood out, and then game modes. They had a WWE mode at one point. They added a ton of camos and cosmetics to the game that were earnable for free, and the game actually grew to be a pretty neat game overall. So while I'm very excited to see this seasonal structure, that can rival and maybe even surpass MW3, I think he even says in his quote that it passes MW3 in content. I do still have my concerns. I still haven't seen a whole lot about BO7 that is making me excited about Black Ops 7, which is a little disappointing. I'm also a little worried about what Ghost of Hope said, so I'm going to actually read his quote here. He said, "Exclusive sources have indicated to me that Black Ops 7 will have more content in its post-launch season than what MW3 had. The current plan, according to sources, is for Black Ops 7 to have a lot of content in Season 1 through 4, and then taper off to give Activision time to push Modern Warfare 4 marketing very hard." So from that statement, I'm disappointed to see that they only plan to have a large amount of content for up to the first 4 seasons. MW3 managed to have a lot of content for all 6 seasons, and I know they will want to push MW4 at some point, but I think you can still do that while delivering seasons. I mean, that's what MW3 did. MW3 had 6 complete, content-heavy seasons, and they still promoted Black Ops 6. So I don't think that that's something that's too difficult to ask for, too much of an ask. I'm hoping, because so much of the content already seems finished, and they've apparently told, Activision has told Treyarch, don't leave anything on the table. I'm hoping that once we get around to seasons 5 and 6, maybe there's been enough time for them to develop some stuff behind the scenes, and maybe it won't be as sharp of a drop-off as they're kind of saying here. But, overall, I think that's, Black Ops 7 is sounding good in the content department. And that's something that I think really makes or breaks these games. I mean, MW3 really turned around because of its content. So even if Black Ops 7 comes out of the gate and we're kind of this is all right, hopefully by the time that, some of this content starts to launch and we see the rollout of a couple seasons, this game might be pretty feature complete and pretty amazing. So let's kind of talk about MW4 now. So I'm going to start with DMZ. DMZ is most likely coming back. We've seen a lot of rumors that it's coming back in MW4. I'm assuming it's going to come back as DMZ2 or 2.0 or whatever, they end up calling it. I think this will most likely end up being a pretty good mode. I liked the first DMZ. I feared they are going to take the learnings from the first and, what they've seen from other extraction shooters and kind of craft a better experience there. I only really have a few things to ultimately say about this, as I'm not the biggest Extraction game fan. What I do want, though, is an out-of-match marketplace, where you can actually sell the gear and stuff that you bring back. I think that's something that was really missing in the first, DMZ experience. And I'd also like to see a PvE mode. I liked the PvP in DMZ, and that's still a thing that I'll do, but, sometimes PvE is just good for, days that you just want to play PvE, and you just want to kind of get a task done and not have to worry about other people. So again, not a whole lot to say about DMZ other than, we know it's probably going to release at the same time MW4 does, or around that time, and it's going to probably be an improvement on the first DMZ experience. It seems like they've got a pretty good, fan base going for the game, and so I'm figuring they're going to probably put a pretty good amount of time into it and craft a pretty good experience. And I'm excited to see what we end up getting with MW4. A lot of rumors that it's going to be like a, South Korean-based game, at least like us partnered with, the South Korean Armed Forces. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what that ends up being. Those are the rumors, though, currently. And now I kind of want to move into talking about Warzone, kind of, again, an extension of the MW4 stuff. And this is probably going to be my, controversial take of this video, because I'm pretty upset to hear that the rumors they are planning a Warzone 3.0. So, again, Ghost of Hope shared some information that Infinity Ward is doing another reset of Warzone. And I'm calling it Warzone 3.0. I don't even know if that's correct, because I think back when, Verdansk was coming back, there were people calling that 3.0, so this might actually technically be Warzone 4.0. I don't really know. But I just don't think I want another Infinity Ward-led game for, the future of Warzone. I've kind of gotten tired of that. MW2 was such a letdown. And again, I know that Infinity Ward did MW19, and I'm really, I really enjoyed that era of Warzone. But, I kind of like to see maybe Sledgehammer or Treyarch get a stab at, setting off, what Warzone is, and then maybe letting Infinity Ward kind of innovate on that idea when it's their turn. But I don't really want to, give up my operators and camos and weapons if we're just going to get another, kind of subpar Warzone experience. If it was a guaranteed, return to MW19, Warzone, or if it was a better experience than even that, I might, understand losing what we have earned, and, that might be worth it in the end. But I honestly haven't trusted Activision, with that. I don't trust that we're going to get a really great Warzone experience, and then I don't really... I haven't really put my time into, the last few games. I haven't finished many of the battle passes recently. I haven't really been working very hard on earning things, because I know, deep down, I figured we were getting another reset at some point, and I just knew that they'd probably take these items away. But I figured eventually, this would happen. It's honestly why I think Warzone needs to just become its own game at this point, and not, be held hostage by the mainline games. I just think that we're obviously seeing some kind of segmentation here, and I just don't know when it's actually going to happen, but I think it's needed at this point. So I'm just going to kind of recap and talk about some things. So Black Ops 7 is most likely going to be a big game filled with a lot of zombies and, multiplayer content. I think it'll probably have a lot of camos and modes. I think DMZ is probably going to be a huge extraction game, hopefully with really innovative ideas, and really expands what, an extraction shooter can be, and features more of those, elements that players are looking for, the marketplace, and, more, probably modes, maps, all that kind of stuff. And Warzone will be moving to another chapter, which, again, I'm hopeful for. Hopefully it'll be good, but I'm very fearful that it seems like every time we get a new chapter of Warzone, it's very finicky at the start, and then it takes a few years for it to get together, and then by the time it gets together, we have people complaining about, man, there's so many guns in this, and a lot of them either aren't viable, or there's a weird one that's powerful every now and then it'll be about the time that we get, another reset. So, I don't know. Overall, I'm excited to see what Black Ops 7 accomplishes. We're supposed to be getting the multiplayer reveal soon. I still don't know if it's a game that, I'm going to play ultimately. I really fell off of Black Ops 6 hard, so I don't really know if Black Ops 7 is going to be something that, I ultimately end up playing. But, we'll see. We'll see when the reveal happens. So let me know what you all think about this. What did you think about my assessment? What do you think about the future of Call of Duty for the next years? Let me know in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. And keep it here for more Call of Duty information. I'll have another video out hopefully later today about the multiplayer reveal. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.